All right, so it looks like we are beginning to shuffle and get ready to quest. It looks like we got some technical issues. No worries. We'll get that solved.
And the game looks like it's probably going extremely well. Remember how I said I was going to make a joke about being in the other room and doing this by echolocation? We have gotten that chance, and I am so excited to bring you echolocation Lorcana as we have Emerald. Nope. That is Emerald and Amber with Amber and Amethyst. Those colors don't happen a lot in the same... Woo! Here we go, JDZ. Let's go.
I don't know what's happening, but it's okay. Okay, we're back. We're active. Smiles are all around as we got a little shuffle going in. So Amber and Amethyst, color combination that really came into its way in the previous set as well. It can play Monstro. It can play the Monstro OTK. It can also play this really cool tempo game, basically like a Blurple deck, but using the lantern to be able to accelerate a bit there. But it also can play an aggro version. Have you guys seen any of that so far?
Of the Amber and Amethyst? Yeah, I mean, this deck has the potential to go fast. And I know that that was actually something that we used to play it, like Amber and Amethyst. We were like, oh, okay, that's the go fast deck. Well, there is so many potential. It can go fast, and it can draw cards now. So shout out to Winterspell for giving Amber the juice.
But we do have our first dogs match, it seemed like. So someone completely disregarded the notes there and put the dog player in on round number 2. You don't hate to see it, but it is what it is as we got Daisy Duck down on 1.
I'm pretty sure Kayla is playing something spicy enough that we can put up with watching dogs as long as, we get to watch it lose.
Nah, I don't want to root against anybody, for sure. But talk to me about this dogs deck. It's in the traditional version of this strategy, talking about dogs versus this Amber and Amethyst deck. How does that usually go, Luke?
I think it really just depends on if Under the Sea is seen. That's what makes this dog deck so powerful. It's an aggressive deck that can beat the other aggro decks all off of Under the Sea. It has great singing capabilities using Tramp 7 and the Shift Cost Lady to be able to just sing those really quickly. You get to play Tramp almost as early as turn 3 sometimes off of the back of Grandmother Willow. She is very powerful.
Yeah, absolutely. And we do see that everything on Kayla's board right now is Eilon Wee with 1, 2 strength, then Iago, also not that big, and Bagheera is the only kind of big thing going on here. So I know that the strategy here for Amber Dog's situation is to just kind of power out into the Under the Sea, and unfortunately, I think that a lot of Kayla's deck is under the seeable. Is that the correct term?
Yeah, except for that Bagheera. I think that's another new card coming in from the last set, Whispers in the Well. He has 4/4 stat line on 3, kind of really moving that rate up the chain a little bit. Very powerful challenger, along with that Iago. So it looks like Kayla is probably trying to set this deck up to get a nice Demona here. Getting some Demona value from this deck, maybe go Lantern, get a Demona out a little bit sooner, and then you're able to just completely remove this entire dog board, it seems like. But I don't know. Is Jason playing a more traditional? It looks like a pretty standard dogs deck from what I've seen so far.
I think we're going to get some Demona action in time because Jason already can sing Under the Sea.
Right, so that does have the ability because we see Nani, who is a 3/3/3. I mean, what better stats than that coming out there, and that it gives him a total of, it doesn't matter, it's Under the Sea time, but at the same time, hopefully not, because we do go ahead and quest that Bagheera, which is a 4/4 stat line, saying, hey, it's fine if you want to crack that in. I know you're not going to. You're a dog's deck. You're not doing any challenging. But, of course, we are looking for, hopefully not any shrinkage there, maybe like a Della's Moon Lullaby, or even a, nope, Rhino wouldn't do it. But Della's Moon Lullaby would get the whole board at that fact. So, because it does minus the strength by 2 and draw a card, which is kind of insane. But we are going to Tramp instead, which is, I don't know, about just the most cracked card in Disney Lorcana, as it says that you are able to play him for a reduction of each character that you have in play, and then you get to draw a card for each other character in play, and then discard that many cards. But hey, if you have 1 card in hand, that means you get to keep the best card in your hand.
Very powerful card. I mean, that card is actually one of the cards I think they might have went too far on the design on that card. I think it is a little bit too strong, overtuned, I would say, getting them down for free, and it usually snowballs into a pretty serious advantage for the player that just activated it. But still, Kayla's position, it does not seem too terrible unless you do find that under the sea and sink it that next turn. I still think she has enough time potentially to get to maybe an Elsa, get to that Demona that we talked about, and maybe you can fight back, but never mind. Forget I said anything.
All right, there's the end of the sea. But fortunately for Kayla, we did not see a Della's Moon Lullaby or anything like that, so the Bagheera does get to hang out. But hopefully we can unexert and do something really cool here. But Bagheera will be able to take out some of the more threatening things. I mean, it is a 4/4, so we do have a Daisy Duck hanging out over there. Or is that... Nope, that's a mystery character that we'll find out about later.
The Daisy Duck on the top there next to the grandmother, Willow, and then we've got Bobby and Nanny, and another Bobby.
As the Mowgli comes down a little bit late just to see our Nani and Big Lady in hand, so now we know, let's get rid of some things.
Right, and that just shows the power of that trap, being able to play the trap and find the under the sea right when you need it, and then you don't even have to worry about dealing with getting it discarded by Mowgli. I think that's just a really good way to play this deck. I mean, that's why I personally believe by the time this set is over, the Amber Emerald Dog under the sea deck is going to be the best deck in the format if it's not already there. I think it's just very powerful. It can play on a lot of different layers. It can play the control role when necessary. It can play aggressive. It also can challenge quite effectively with that 2-cost tramp, being able to bolster some of the strengths of your other characters. You have that Nani as well. 3/3 can challenge quite effectively. The Shift Lady can challenge. So the deck can just do every single thing that you want to do in a Lorcana deck, and I'm just very
mad about it.
I'm upset about it.
Yeah, okay. I was about to say, I was like, the feeling I was like, you're doing a really good job of explaining it, but it does sound like you're as upset as the rest of us as we watch Jason kind of think about what he's trying to do here. What do you think he's trying to do, Luke? Is he trying to win, or?
I don't know if he's trying to win here, but we get you were talking about the Mowgli here, and Tramp just shows why Mowgli's not enough, because you don't have to have the song in your hand. The Tramp digs, it finds it, you sing it the same turn, and Mowgli's just not a good enough answer there. So it's not going to go as much. It's not going to go the distance, we might say, to be able to stop it, and that's kind of frustrating to play against at times, but that's good deck building, honestly. It's very similar to Amber Steel in the first set, when you just keep the whole new world in your deck and find it off the Aerial Spectacular Singer. But right now, Jason is just trying to finish this game, add a couple more threats and just quest out over like 1 or 2 turns.
Yeah, unless our LOREBOT's a little off. Hopefully Jason is putting the score in correctly, but it seems like he's still at 0. So I believe that is what's going on. Is the questing has begun. This might be the first bit of lore that he's received so far. So never mind. Yeah, that was just the first quest that has taken place, and that's a good sign for Kayla a little bit. You do have a little bit of breathing room to potentially get something going on here. And the saddest part about Demona, which is probably your best card, it will replenish Jason's hand more. I believe that they are low resource as well, unless those 2 cards in hand.
It is 2 cards, so the Demona's not terrible, but we also don't necessarily need it. We already kind of have plenty of characters to challenge. An Elsa here to be able to take down that Grandmother Willow, just get another character down, continue to put pressure, maybe drop a couple of characters to over the next turn, stop the questing. But we're in a particular spot here that's a little rough, but the Cheshire Cat is gonna do work. If there's anything that's gonna keep her in this game and stop Jason in his tracks, it's probably gonna be the cat activations.
And I think Kayla is on a timeline as well. I think you have to start doing a bulk of your heavy lifting before that Emerald Chromacon gets established, because Jason has access to that card, or at least a lot of these strategies do play that card. And once it comes down, I think the game just becomes a lot more difficult for Kayla to win. So this game, it looks daunting, but I think Kayla still has a pretty decent spot. What do you think, Color?
Yeah, absolutely. As we did see that the Bagheera went ahead and challenged in and got rid of that pesky character, and then was able to heal off, just as you were talking about with the Cheshire Cat, and take out the other Grandmother Willow. So both Grandmother Willows down, as we see the Cheshire Cat now going in for its own little battles, as we do 3 into the Tramp. And now, did Mowgli quest, or did Mowgli, I think he quested. So he went on a little questy quest, and I would have liked to see maybe one of those bobbies be taken out, but hopefully we've got some tricks up our sleeve coming up next turn.
continuing to keep that damage on the Cheshire Cat is also an interesting play. I would like to preserve the well-being of that Cheshire Cat now. I think it is in a vulnerable range.
We did heal the Bagheera.
We did heal the Bagheera, but I think maybe prioritizing the Cheshire Cat there to keep him healthy could be a vibe. But either way, since it was going to be exerted no matter what, I guess it's going to be vulnerable. And I guess keeping your better challenger around could be the play. So Kayla locked in on the Amber and Amethyst strategy while Della,
Webby
Webby
Vanderquack comes on in and
up.
giving +1 to that Bobby that I was really worried about last turn. And Bobby is probably going to be able to, just kidding, here's a tramp, and makes it even bigger. So now we've got a 1+1 on the Bobby, and then a +1, 2, 3, 4, 6 on the other one. So other Bobby is going to be able to take out the Bagheera and trade very efficiently. And that's kind of what I was worried about, right? Is now we have no board.
So if we had swapped the heals around on the Bagheera and the cat, it wouldn't have stopped Jason.
Right.
He had everything. He would have just swapped which characters challenged. That said, it might have been a more optimal play if you wanted to keep the cat around, but most likely it would not matter, as Jason had plenty of big creatures, big characters to challenge away there.
And that's another fantastic point. And also something to pay close
why
attention to.
did we just pass? All right, so we ink and pass on that turn, JDZ. Why?
I probably just didn't have a card to play or anything to do. But seeing that Cheshire Cat, big, that was boosted by another Cheshire Cat.
Wait a minute,
so
is that a Raging
being
Storm
able to-
stuck in hand? Is it a Raging Storm stuck in hand?
Let's go.
It could
Let's
be.
go! It's a Raging Storm stuck in hand! Get rid of all of those characters. That is Raging Storm. Can we do that? Is that what we do now?
I think
Because
so.
that is the first board wipe that we have gotten since rotation, coming in and saying banish all characters. And you ink pass with no characters on board because you have the board wipe. You have the board wipe. But unfortunately, we are at 15. So now from forever. Oh, that's hilarious. We just drew the Horseman Strikes off the top, being able to go ahead and pop the go-go immediately, draw a card, and it's Iago. This is crazy top decks. Crazy top decks coming in from Kayla's side.
But is that enough, though? Will
Yes.
she have enough speed to be able to get – that's an insurmountable climb. I mean, you're at 5 lore. Your opposite's at 5 lore. You have this one Iago, and it's a tough climb to – that's a tough hill to climb for Kayla. As Jason, staring at the board, you haven't played anything. You can brick here. I mean, you got a lot of bricks left in your deck. You have a lot of Under the Siege. You have Chromacons. You have these Delamoon Lullabies.
Is it another Horseman Strikes? She just laughed. Is it another Horseman Strikes? Oh, I was so excited. Boy, I was excited. But unfortunately, yeah, that is not going to do anything about invasive characters. So hopefully we just don't get, go-go questing off into glory. I hope that's not it.
Yeah, there's so many big uninkable 5-cost, 8-cost cards in Jason's deck. As we just saw the last turn, the go-go, that he had to think for a second. He's like, well, I'm not gaining any lore using this extra ability, but I also need ink to play these other cards.
Ooh, that's an evasive character. Tell us about that one, Luke. That one's big.
Well, it's going to answer that go-go. That's what it's going to do. And it's there's the possibility that maybe Jason has a lullaby to draw a card, and there's a tramp.
Oh, we are not questing because the Iago has evasive and Go-Go has evasive, and we're just going to throw another Iago for the sake of it. What is happening, guys? What is happening?
And that is just shows at this deck when you just have a lot of bad draws here. So I think what
Unless
Jason's
you're
going
not
to try to
questing.
do is he's going to have to build a pretty decent sized board before you can begin maybe you have to quest all 5 of these at one time just to try to win.
Oh no, she's got a quest.
Running away. Kayla now has all the initiative. He hasn't played a single copy of Genie yet or a single 2-quester.
Yeah, I'm
But that
hoping we
said-
quest out, but I'm pretty sure what is left in Jason's hand has to be a lady, a 5-cost lady, and he's just been waiting until he can get an inkable, go ahead, play it, and get 2 characters back from his discard.
Kayla's still about 3 turns away from being able to quest fully out. It could give Jason the ability
There's the
to
lady.
get that last few lore. He can quest away here up to 18, has a 2 lore threat in play, and gets to return a go-go on another character. So if these Iagos take down this lady off of an Elsa, or an Elsa exerts it and takes it down, that's a lot of damage stacked up for this go-go to finish off here. And that's kind of the issue with Kayla. She had a couple of turns to do everything and to answer cards, but they were not a lore dense enough threat.
Yeah, and I think is there a line available? We haven't seen Kayla she has a ton of threats left, no Elsas, no Demonas, but maybe there's a play where you can stay ready and then just try to slam the go-go in, and then use the other go-go off there.
Now Jason could get really punished here if Kayla just quests out and plays another Raging Storm. Jason's gonna really regret not keeping that Lilo, because that Lilo is a fantastic way to deal with your opponent doing a gigantic board wipe.
That's a Finders Keepers. We're going to go ahead and exert that many cards to draw 3 cards. That card is crazy, as we only have about 5 ink left available to us. So the Raging Storm is off the table, unfortunately. But, I mean, we could ink in Demona. That'd be kind of sick. What do you think?
I think that we don't have that much ink. I think this game is unfortunately for Kayla, most likely or over.
Oh. How much does Finders Keepers cost?
Finders Keepers cost 5.
Oh, I thought we had... well, it's fine.
And that is kind of a scary. So you do have to boost this Cheshire Cat to clear that damage. Every damage floating matters. But now you're in a situation where you have the Grandmother Willow you can take down, but you still have 4 lords just kind of waiting in reserve. And I don't think you have the cards in your card pool to be able to get through that lady and that Daisy Duck. So it's probably going to be GG's here for Kayla, as we're going to pass it back on over. Jason there.
Both of these threats, quests for 2, you have to answer both, and that is the game right there.
That's all she wrote. Taking nothing away from Kayla. I think she did everything correctly, but this dog's deck, like I said, it is so impactful. And what they can do, being able to sing Under the Sea so effectively, being able to find the trap, being able to get to all your threats and quests so early, it's just very tough for anyone to deal with. So Kayla's still in great spirits about it. But what does she need to do? How can she overcome what Jason is trying to do going into that next round?
Well, one of the things is Jason needs to draw the Under the Seas early so the Mowgli can actually hit it. We need to see some ramp off of Grandmother Willow or possibly a Lantern to get some good characters out there, so then we can put some pressure on, because it's one thing dogs does not do very well is challenge back. They don't have very much strength to be kind of doing that type of thing. They want to turn sideways. Like if dogs has, like Jason could draw multiple Chromacons and then just can't really interact with Kayla if Kayla's not challenging. And sometimes a Demona can come down. Like if Kayla gets an early Demona off of that ramp before a Chromacon comes down, that's another thing that can happen. There's some very powerful plays that Kayla has access to, especially with ramp, to try to slow dogs down. But traditionally, the Blurple and the Amber Amethyst, they tend to be play draw dependent against dogs. That was in the past, but with Grandmother Willow. Ooh, tell me how much you are tired of seeing Grandmother Willow already.
You know what?
I don't know, man. I'm like, let it happen. Let Amber shine. We kicked it in the dust for so long. I mean, set 1, I was brutalized by Amber Steel, and a little bit further on, but then all of a sudden it just got kind of not great, right? And then they were like, what if we gave Amber card draw? What if we gave Amber board wipe? Huh? Thoughts on that?
And that's honestly, that's my one of my bigger philosophies. I enjoy when the game design team takes enough has the brevity or whatever, or the confidence to create very powerful cards. I enjoy powerful cards. I think they make the game better when you have really, really strong cards. And Grandmother Willow is that. I think she's a very strong card. Might be a little bit overtuned, might be slightly out of balance a little bit, but I still like the fact that it exists. And it is Kayla also has access to that card, and it just makes the game a little bit more dynamic when you have very strong cards. And maybe this Amber Emerald can use that card the best, so it does get a little, I don't want to say it gets not repetitive, but it's just overwhelming when it starts to snowball with this deck. We got Tramps and the Lilos and things of that sort.
I do agree, though. I like a more powerful format. The only unfortunate thing about a more powerful format is if you are not playing a deck that is also taking advantage of these powerful cards, it feels abysmal. And unfortunately, that is just a thing that happens with card games. In every card game, and you just have to adapt to it. And that's just like, if you're going to be playing at the top tier competitive levels, bring your best deck to it and you should be fine. Because once you really deep dive into that aspect, it's some of the most fun you can be having playing Lorcana. You'll have so many plays every turn. You're just thinking about everything. I like more choices. How about you? Yeah,
more is always better than less, for sure.
Agency is always nice, right? And again, maybe it's because we watched Amber just get dunked on for a few sets there, but Grandmother Willow seems kind of fine to me. I mean, if you can play Sail on 2, I can play Grandmother Willow on 2.
If you can ink Sail, if you can ink Tipo,
right?
You should be able to ink. That's what I'm saying. I was like, I should be able to ink Grandmother Willow, but at least she has a lore on it and Sail doesn't. Because if that ever happens, I'm setting that card on fire every time I see it.
Yeah, imagine if Grandmother Willow could also go into the inkwell. And imagine if Grandmother Willow can also take an uninkable card from your hand and fix it for you.
Or draw a card.
Yeah, or do, yeah.
Oh, so you mean like Tipo?
Yeah, what if that? Yeah, what if she could do something cool, something else cool?
That's what I'm saying. Anytime you get mad about Grandmother Willow, I'm going to just like flay. Like I have like a little sign that says ban Tipo, but that's fine. That's fine. We're all here and we're all having fun.
Grandmother Willow's basically Sail and Tipo mixed together, and where you just take off the card draw and the uninkability.
There you go. There you go. But hopefully we see a little bit of Grandmother Willow, and we'll probably be seeing some Tipo today as well. So you like both of those cards, guess what? You're in luck. You're in the right place. You are tuned in to the CCQ out here in Ink Open in sunny and shiny, a little bit breezy and cool Baltimore, Maryland, out here in the suburbs of there, Glen Burnie. We're in a mall. It is an old relic of the past mall. I love this mall.
Mowgli
Big
on
fan.
2. Here we go. And as a great player, as we know, if Mowgli's in your deck, you cannot keep actions. Of course, we don't really want Under the Sea in our hand on turn 2, which is another reason this Mowgli is kind of like fine into dogs, but like not the best. However, we are going to go ahead and quest with our Daisy and put a World's Greatest Criminal Mind on the bottom. No! Which, by the way, in that format, this format with Islandwe and everything else, World's Greatest is basically Dragonfire. So
Basically the
it's-
same card.
Right. It's pretty much Dragonfire except for the Inkable, and it costs 2 as a lady determined dog into a Webby Vanderquack. She's a mystery enthusiast, JDZ.
I don't know if I like Mowgli coming down on 2 these days. I think I want to save that Mowgli for when I believe my opponent is going to send a Under the Sea my way. I mean, right there, you really didn't have the capability to do an Under the Sea at any capacity, and you didn't have a board to fear. But Mowgli as a way, granted, like we say, their tramp's going to find it more often than not, but I would like to discard it before the tramp is able to discard it in the event that it can't go.
Well, I mean, while that's true, sometimes you just don't have any other 2-drops, and you have to hope that they altered into the Under the Sea and they just have it in their hand. I've definitely mulled away my whole new worlds and drawn it on my first turn and had it hit by a turn 2 Ursula. So the same theory could happen.
Very true.
And, you know, it's not a blanket rule. If you're playing against Amethyst Steel, you definitely want to play it on 2 so you can hit that strength as soon as you can.
Oh, yeah.
But I do agree with you that sometimes saving those discard spells to, you know, the turn before they're playing those big cards so you can hit those and take those out of their hand before that giant action just ruins your day. You know, it is worth saving them, and that is some next level play if you're able to do that.
Yeah, we see the Tramp come on down and buff it up. Doesn't matter, though, because we have nothing exerted on Kayla's side, and it's not like we're challenging anyway, but having that Tramp come down with a reduced cost because there is that lady in play. So now we are doing what dogs do, and we're going wide, and we're inking the Delamoon Lullaby to play the Webby. All right, so we're definitely setting up to do some things, but not too many things.
And that's a crazy amount of characters to have in play off of 2 ink, by the way. We're up to 3 now, and we played 1 more.
And there's no Grandmother
we had
Willow on board.
5 with no Grandmother Willow. 5 characters on 2 ink.
We Madam Mim Elephant our Mowgli in this situation, and I think we are just going to go on a quest here because it is a 4/4 Bagheera with no stats, but it's still 4/4, and anything that crashes into it will not make it through that challenge. So here we go. Here's a Tramp.
So yeah, Jason is selling. He's either selling Tramp or Kramicon, but it's going to be Tramp. And you do have a card that you are able to discard here as well. Just showing a little bit of information. Shout out to the judges here who are holding it down for this tournament. So now, what are you looking for here? What's the best card that you can find off of this Tramp? Is it another Tramp?
I mean, that's one of the things we can do. The problem with another Tramp is we only had 1 card left in hand. So we're only keeping 1 thing here. So it could be a Chromacon to prevent some challenges. While Under the Sea is normally good, it does nothing on this board. And unless we're keeping a Lullaby and hoping to draw on Under the Sea as the top card, that doesn't seem like the game plan we want. So I wouldn't be surprised if it wasn't a Lady 5. To be able to grab a couple characters out of the discard pile after some challenges. And you can also get sneaky with it and challenge your Tramp into this Bagheera and then get back that Tramp, play it for 1, and then take out this gigantic pain in the butt Madam Mim that if is not answered is slowly going to take these characters away, or at least just stop Jason in his tracks from questing to prevent damage from being put on it.
Yeah, now keeping it was just a tramp, so we are going to go ahead and play the tramp and buff up the lady and maybe quest. We're just going to go ahead and take out the Bagheera. So the Bagheera was a problem, so actually that's pretty good. Taking out the one problem that we had, maybe going on a quest and seeing we're putting a genie into your hand off of the Daisy quest. Do we turn it sideways? Yeah, I think we're just going sideways now because we have no cards in hand. We kept nothing except for the tramp and then got rid of your challenger, so no cards in hand, and here we go. If you Demona, then, like, please Demona.
Yeah, I'd love to see a Chromacon here from Jason Spy. Granted, they didn't find it, so you can only have the cards that you can get, but a Chromacon off the top, and the game probably comes to a screeching halt if you are Jason. Kayla now, on the other hand, I think you're going to have to get, like, you're going to have to get the Iago, maybe you have the Rafikis. You're going to get some a nice board spam here to help start contesting before that Chromacon gets established. But again, this Emerald, this is why people are playing it. I don't understand why this is not unequivocally, undebatably the best deck in this format, because no other deck can do what this deck is doing. Every time I see it on a stream or in these tournaments, it's doing something like this, and it's just always so preposterous.
I think one of the reasons why is it is a phenomenally hard deck to play. There are some matchups where if you do one thing wrong at the wrong time, it's actually over. And I know in this situation it seems, I think this is a pretty unfavorable matchup for Kayla to begin with, but I think the reason people aren't picking this deck up is because you could ink something here and then choose the other wrong thing off a tramp. There's a lot of decisions that go into this deck.
I used to believe that, Color. I don't want to disagree because I don't want people to tell me how wrong I am, but I thought that last set, this set, it seems like it's pretty clear what you're trying to do. I mean, you're trying to play a ton of characters. You're trying to play Tramp. You're trying to sing Undersea when you need to. You're trying to sing Chromacon when you need to. It seems like you play a bunch of one-cost dudes, play the Tramp, get the card you need, and win the game. I mean, you are exerting.
Surface level, right. Yes. But the problem is you do not always have the perfect draw.
And there we go. We had it. It was
Jason had a pretty good one, though.
Yeah, Jason had a pretty good one, and we were still one turn off of that Demona, even though we'd have to real feed the hand. As Jason does take it, being quite favored, but nothing off to him, just grabbing the win there from Amber Emerald versus Amber Amethyst.